Is this thing working? Oh, yeah. What is the hero's journey? And why is it important? Well, the quick academic answer, I'll get to the fun answer in a minute, I promise, is in the early part of the 20th century, there was a guy named Joseph Campbell. And he was studying myths and legends and stories from all over the world. And he started noticing something similar in all these stories. And what he noticed was that heroines and heroes from every time period were taking more or less the same journey. And he called this the hero's journey. It's a circular pattern. It's got three basic parts: separation, initiation, and return. He went on to fill in that circle with many more points of detail, but for our talk, we'll just stick to the basics. A heroine or hero starts off in their village or subdivision or office cubicle. They get separated from it. Sometimes they get lost. Sometimes they get kicked out. Sometimes Lawrence Fishburne shows up and says, you could take the red pill or you could take the blue pill. Any way it goes, this person is now on an adventure, whether they like it or not. The adventure is full of challenges. Typically, there's a helper that comes to guide them along the way. They get magical powers, or maybe they get a magic weapon. They struggle. But finally, evil is vanquished. The dragon is slayed. The Death Star explodes. The hero has been initiated from average person to hero person. But that's not the end of it. Then they have to return to the village to share the treasure. And sometimes they're just happy to be alive when they get back. A good example of this is The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy is living an average farm life, but deep down, she is wishing for something more, something over the rainbow. Getting her wish, a giant tornado comes and picks up her house, and she's deposited in the land of Oz. The Good Witch of the North comes to greet her with what's known as a call to adventure. She says, okay, Dorothy, if you want to make it home, follow this yellow brick road and go find the Wizard of Oz. And so Dorothy goes on the classic quintessential journey. She meets helpers that aid her on her journey. She gets some magic slippers. She struggles and almost dies many times. But finally, they find the wizard, only to discover he's a fraud. Some dude from Omaha, I believe. But it doesn't matter, because the trials of the journey have initiated her from farm girl to hero girl. She realizes that what she was looking for, she had inside her the whole time. So she only has to click her heels together to return home. Separation, initiation, return. So that's the basic, and that's great, and you can go see this pattern develop in any movie that you would watch, but so what? Well, here's where it gets fun, because it turns out that the adventures and misadventures of your life follow the same pattern. See, stories are essentially the same in this way because they all come from the same place. They all come from in here. They all come from humans. And humans, whether living in the pyramid 3,000 years ago or in a trailer park right now, we all fear and desire the same things. We all fear judgment, pain, and death. We all desire love and happiness. What you see when you watch a movie is your own hopes, dreams, and fears chasing each other around in the form of good guys and bad guys, causing drama, resolving conflict, just like life. Why else would you sit in a dark theater mindlessly shoveling popcorn into your pie hole? Oh, that Will Ferrell, he's funny. Why? Well, to quote my friend Alan Cohen, we are not separate from the characters we see in our movies and in our novels. They are us. It's one journey. And if it's all one journey, then that makes you a hero. You are the hero of your own journey. I don't mean hero like you're going to save the earth from aliens or you're going to rescue school children from a burning building. I mean hero like in the day-to-day living of your life. Do you live with fear or do you live with courage and compassion? Now, Campbell went on, and he made a remarkable correlation between the hero's journey and the living of your life. And he gives this advice to his students. You've probably heard it many times. Follow your bliss. Do that thing that fills you with the most joy, and do it no matter what. That is the starting place for a real life hero's journey. We'll use a well-documented and easy example. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs went on the same journey as the Grail Knights, the knights looking for the Holy Grail. He followed his bliss into the forest of Silicon Valley. There was no path. He blazed his own trail. As he traveled, miracles of coincidences manifested, as well as epic disasters that he had to overcome. But finally he gets the Grail and returned to share it with all of us. Thank God, because I don't know what I would do without this thing. If you have a touch-screen smartphone, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, we're not Steve Jobs and we're not Oprah, or we might not be big shots doing big things, but we are all Dorothy, and we are all the Grail Knights. Whether you are raising a family, or starting a business, or teaching children, or saving the world from another zombie apocalypse, the journey is the same. So the hero's journey is kind of like a roadmap. You can see what the path looks like, and so you can see where you are on the cycle. Did you answer the call to adventure? Are you following your bliss? All of my personal journeys illustrate this point. In fact, the journey that takes me to right here, this moment, is a perfect example. Not that many years ago, I was stuck in a village called Midlife Crisis. It's a horrible, horrible village full of plenty of cliches, and they're all true. Idiot. And in the midst of all this, both of my parents died suddenly. My mom's was the worst. It was a misdiagnosed ulcer, a still bitter pill to swallow. And after we buried them, an interesting thing happened. I think the pain of that experience woke me up. And I woke up the next day, and I went, what am I doing in this village? This place is horrible. I got to get out of here. I realized where I was, and I realized that I had better get back to following my bliss before it was too late. I was, and still am, a commercial filmmaker. I make commercials. But I had secretly, for many years, been wanting to make this movie about Joseph Campbell's ideas. But I didn't have the courage, I guess. I was too afraid I was going to fail. I was too caught up in my own issues. And so, like a Grail Knight, I went into the forest of the unknown to make this movie. Actually, I'm half Japanese. I see myself more like a Grail ninja than an actual knight. And the second I started down that road, miracles of coincidences manifested, and one amazing person led me to another amazing opportunity. And not to say that it wasn't without hardships, you know, it was brutal. I had almost quit several times, but I finally finished this film. But if we look at the journey, I started in the village of general stupidity. I followed my bliss out looking for the grail of a completed film about the hero's journey. I went on a hero's journey to make a film about the hero's journey. Having discovered a completed film, I found myself to be a better filmmaker than I thought I was, despite the comments of a few bitter old critics. And I finished the film and returned to share it with the village. Separation, initiation, return. What is the hero's journey? The hero's journey is, in the most sincere way possible, the journey of your life. Did you answer the call? Are you following your bliss?